Hey guys, oh my god, it's so cozy right now. I can't. It has been raining like for 6 hours non-stop, I think. It also rained last night, and after so many weeks and maybe even months of heat, it just feels so freaking good. Like, it feels so fresh and so cozy. I'm obsessed, and it's Friday evening right now, and I'm just obsessed. And I'm actually home alone today, and I had a really difficult choice today to make. Today there was a start of an event of the year in the village where we live in Germany. Which is basically a typical beer festival. Just a typical thing that happens in every town in Germany in summer. Just people drinking beer, maybe some music, I don't know. So today is the first day of that, and it's supposed to be like a big thing because, you know, it's a small town, there's nothing really going on, and it's like event of the year, if you will. Well, the main thing of this event is to drink beers, and I cannot do that. On top of that, it's raining non-stop, like pouring rain. So as you can imagine, it was a very difficult choice for me to make. Should I go to a beer festival under pouring rain to not drink beers because I'm pregnant? Or should I stay home with my candles and drink some hot cacao and just be cozy? So I think you know what I chose. And you know, I realized that I haven't really been home alone like this in a while. Like when you're actually alone on the weekend, like I'm home alone often when I work, but that's not the same, right? So I just really realized that I haven't had this time with myself in ages. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a little like self-care evening and then watch something cozy, have some nice dinner and drink a hot cacao. So yeah, welcome to this vlog, and let's see how it goes. It seems like it's gonna rain tomorrow all day as well, so I really love this weather when it's not like every day for months. So if you think that I'm doing yoga like all the time because I often post it in my videos, don't think that, because when I record myself doing yoga, that's probably the only times that I'm actually doing yoga, which is really not a lot, like once a week. And I actually haven't done it at all since like the first trimester of pregnancy because I just became uncomfortable. But now I actually have to kind of pick it up because you have to build resistance, you have to build flexibility, and all that is going to help later on with labor and stuff. So yeah, I really want to kind of start to doing it more often. So yeah, I thought I would do it today. Oh my god, it's raining so freaking much. Look at this. And the windows are closed.
Every Wednesday when we put out new videos. Bringing that hand back down, a little twist, open to the other side. Foot for a stretch on the other side. And through for pigeon oars on the other side now. Bring all the way forward for pigeon pose. Just winding down the practice.
It reminds me a lot of the time when I was living alone in Spain, when I was going through like really a kind of a healing transformation, and I was just spending time by myself a lot. And I would always do this self-care evenings or dates with yourself and so on, and it was super nice. And today kind of reminds me of that. Is this too much? I think it's too much, but I don't care. This stuff, guys, is so good. I don't know if it's sold like everywhere or it's a German thing. This drink is from Australia, so it's not German. But oh my god, if you find it, it's so good. It's like a non-alcoholic beer, but with flavors, and oh, it's just so good. Cheers.
You said once.
Oh, my mother's not dead. She's... You know what? We don't have to do a thing.
You can do anything you want. Robertson, come on, Dawkins, talk.
It's the next day. The weather is kind of the same, gloomy today, but it's not actually raining. It's almost like sun is almost coming out actually. It actually says that it's gonna be thunderstorm in the evening, but we will see. I actually have to clean up a little bit and just tidy a little bit. I'm just not enjoying being at home that much when things are like a bit messy. Hey guys, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about how important I think it is to consciously spend time by ourselves. And this is something that I already mentioned quite a lot on my channel, like how to learn to be comfortable by ourselves and so on. And the reason why I like to talk about it and why I talk about it is because in the past I really couldn't spend time by myself. When I was like 26, at that point I never in my life lived alone. Like at some point I moved out from my parents' house, and then I was, you know, in the university I was still like with roommates and stuff, and then I was in a relationship, and by the age of 26 I never lived by myself. And I was always so anxious, and I had this fear of abandonment whenever I was staying alone, and only until I actually started to live alone, which what I mentioned in the beginning of this video, which happened 1.5 years ago. That's when I really learned to be by myself and to really realize how important it is. And when I say consciously spend time by ourselves, I want to really emphasize the word consciously, because I mean many people live alone, right? And sometimes they have miserable lives, living all of their lives thinking, I'm never gonna be happy because I'm alone, right? So when I say consciously, I mean that when we are staying alone, it's so important, in my opinion, to really face our emotions, face our feelings, to get to know ourselves. What do we like? What do we don't like? Do things that bring us joy. And I think it's so important. When we're constantly with other people, we are so influenced by other people's opinions, judgments, their desires, right? Like we don't even stop for a second to ask, but what do I actually want? We just sometimes automatically do what other people kind of suggest or put on us, or yeah, we're just not conscious. Like we don't actually stop and ask ourselves. We just living on autopilot, doing what other people around us are doing. And when we are living alone and spending time, quality time by ourselves, we can truly get to know ourselves and our desires. The voice in our head starts to get louder, and we start to really hear our desires and our wishes and our needs, and it's important to listen to that and to actually take action, to move forward, to get those things. When we spend time alone, again, we can hear our desires and we can understand our desires better, and then we can make choices that are right for us and not just do things or live in a way that our family wants us to live or our partner wants to, right? But actually listen to what do we want and make choices that are right for us. I think it's so important. And if you're not living alone, if you already have a family and you barely have time by yourself, of course that doesn't mean that like you have to leave and start living by yourself. But I think just having these moments with yourself and really connect with yourselves every day, even if it's just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, to journal, to meditate, to just be with your own thoughts, to ask yourself, what do I want today? How am I feeling today? I don't think that many of us are actually consciously doing it, but I think it's also so important if we want to stay on track and yeah, to just really not lose ourselves in all other people that surround us. At least that's what I do. Sometimes when I'm alone at home, I'm just working, and then I'm with my husband most of the time, but I always try to come back to these little practices, and I wake up in the morning earlier before he's awake, and I journal or I sit with myself or I meditate and do these things to really connect to myself, and yeah, to just listen to myself and what do I actually want and what do I need. I think it's so important. Let me guys know in the comments, do you love spending time alone, or is it something that you actually struggle with? Because in the past I always felt I was always down if I was alone. I always felt abandoned and low when I didn't have plans with other people, when I was alone. And now when I'm alone, I really kind of cherish that time like it was this weekend, and yeah, and I just really try to take the most out of it and have quality time by myself, if that makes sense. Let me guys know if you do that as well. You do some kind of me time, dates with yourself. I personally really like all of that, and I want to do more of it as well. The next day it got sunny again and really warm, so we decided to go for a little hike. Of course, I cannot do anything difficult, so really easy and light hike, but it was still super nice. Everything was really green and fresh after so much rain, so it was just really nice to spend the whole day outside.